Hello, everybody. You are back with the crew. Thanks so much for being a crew member. We have a nice little three-way chat going here. Elizabeth's had a bit of a farm incident, if we will, with her eye, and she'll be off camera, but she'll be helping out as much as possible. So it's just great to have everybody back on a Sunday. This is getting to be good fun. And we've retained a bunch of your questions from last week, and it's going to be what we're going to try and cover and some of our Patreon questions first. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. As you can see, I'm on the boat, and I have a big day trip tomorrow, and I think I might even shoot some video about that tomorrow, so that might be fun for everybody to check out again. Brent, how are you doing, sir?
Dad, doing great. Happy that it's the weekend. Happy with what's going on with the channel. It was literally all I thought about yesterday and was working on. And I just, the comments, everybody, the love, it's really motivating, and it means a lot to us. And I know my dad and I spoke about it for a couple hours. Elizabeth and I spoke about it for a while and did our video yesterday. So it's just been a blast. So happy and thankful to be here with y'all as always.
I was on the phone for, I don't know, 8-9 hours yesterday.
Yeah, I believe it.
All great conversations, with long ones with you, with Elizabeth, where we're going with the show, how much fun we're going to have. The interview process of adding some help to really help us all out. And really, we're so excited. And we've been so blessed to have so many people reach out to us about helping us with this channel and where we're all headed. And this is going to be so much fun. Really, it's going to get more creative, and it's going to get more fun, and it's going to get more steady and consistent, and possibly even a little more professional. No way.
What? That wouldn't be like us.
I'll have none of that.
That's silly talk.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw Brenda in the house. Hey, girl.
Nice.
Brenda was one of them.
I didn't get to go through everybody. I was going to go through everybody. XRP Peaky. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here. I just look like whatever, some kind of pirate. Sean Robbins, XRP Slave, Alchemist, Northern Living, Sith, Lord in the house, the other Nomad, Sean Robbins, Wooder, Worcester, Background Sounds. That is his or her name. Mama Lacey, Crypto Professor, Luke Dukes, Brenda, you said, William Meredith, Al's Pawn, not AI's Pawn, but I like the AI was kind of good for me. Gerald, it worked for me only. Vestal, come on in. You could take that a couple ways if you're, never mind. It's a family show. Gatsby. Okay, sorry. You guys ready for questions? You want to keep chatting? Cody Garcia, Luca Sacchetti.
Yeah, I want to back up what Dad's saying. Just on all the work and talk we were doing yesterday. Just trying to continue to improve the show and give you all more quality and more fun content. We love making it, and the more you make it, the more you get on a roll. It gets very fun and very addicting, and then you have people showing up on a Sunday to just come hang out with you, and all of us have a conversation. It's pretty cool. So stoked to be here on Sunday with all of you.
So good. We did have a couple of questions, Elizabeth. What were the ones? 2 Patreon members I saw had questions.
Sorry, Alan. Thank you. Yes. Oh, good. You're just like, you can't see the questions. I gotcha.
I can't, but I remember one that I really would like to run with a little bit.
I'm going to put them all up.
I'll read them to Dad.
Okay, beautiful. And I'll
Mhm.
keep starring them, and then
I'm gonna
go for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and start the show with the one that I read, two
Okay.
that I read, but the
All
one
right.
for sure. It's the silver question. Did you guys see that one?
I'm getting to it. Thomas Schultz. I was just about to put it in there, so I wanted to pop it in there, Alan, so that
Okay,
people.
read the question for everybody.
Okay, hang on. Thomas Schultz. You're not going to get his name on because I'm not, and then I'm going to lose Landon's question, so I'm going to have to go up. But okay, you're
No,
the
let's
boss.
get Landon's.
You're the boss. We will do that.
I'm never the boss.
Can you talk about silver? How do you see it playing a role in the future? What percentage of a portfolio would you recommend be in silver? How can silver exist alongside crypto? Cannot give financial advice, but perhaps talking in hypotheticals, Alan?
Yeah. First of all, many people, I don't want to bore everybody because I've said it a million times. I've been in silver virtually my whole life. I see its use case. I certainly see its holding a value of wealth. It's imperative to have some of it laying around if you can afford it. I think it's a brilliant idea. It's a storage, a security item, an insurance item that's very useful. Technology is going to need it going forward. They flat out have manipulated it for 45, 50 years that I know of. I've been following it that long. There's no other way you can explain it. They fear silver. They always have. And I know a lot of people smirk at that statement and they laugh. Oh, yeah, why would they worry about silver? Then why would they suppress it for 50 years? And I know people are going to say, well, why would they? They're not suppressing it. It's $25 an ounce. Well, it was $50 an ounce in 1980. Do you know anything that's half the price it was in 1980? Do you know anything? Name one thing. Okay. And it takes diesel oil to pull it out of the ground. Like, how much has diesel oil gone up just since 1980? That's proof of manipulation. Okay. They didn't find a giant, massive chunk of silver that they're mining and all of a sudden it's just laying everywhere. In fact, it's going to be if I'm not mistaken, one of the first elements to be off the elemental chart that we'll run out of. I've heard that more than once. Because we use it at such a rate, we don't recycle it at the rate that we recycle other precious metals.
Mhm.
A percentage of your portfolio. Again, that was always tough for me because it depends on how old you are. But most young people don't even really kind of believe in silver. So they should get off zero for sure, in my opinion. But I would say anywhere between 5 to 20% of your portfolio should be in precious metals. I prefer silver over gold. I always have. And the banks will play more in the gold realm, and you and I will probably play around more in the silver. The neat thing about silver is that it comes out of the ground at 10 to 1, and yet it's 80 to 1 in price. So in other words, it's 80 times cheaper than gold is today, dollar for dollar, if you're buying it. Okay. Yet it comes out of the ground at 10 to 1. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I've kind of said all that before, but I think silver's a beautiful metal in so many other ways. I could go on for an hour about silver. Let's not do that.
Totally agree.
Also, one thing that you always said to me is, if silver goes to the moon, we could be in deep shit because silver is in everything. And so the price of everything is to the moon as well. So it's sort of a weird dichotomy.
Great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I said that? That sounds smarter than I would say.
That's right. That's right.
I can't believe I said something that smart.
Okay. Are we going back to Landon? You guys finished?
Yeah, what's
Perfect.
a brother from the northern.
Another mother. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Brent's
you're
going to read it.
fine.
Perfect.
You're fine,
Go for it,
Elizabeth.
Brent.
Palau has started their own stablecoin on the XRP ledger. I find it interesting that their national currency is the USD. What are your thoughts on this partnership?
I think it's a great test case, a beta, a launching, if you will. I've already heard back from a lot of the people, and they have all no problems, no issues. All the people using it love it. It's not been an issue at all technologically. I'm pretty sure Australia just jumped in with them as well, if I'm not mistaken. So the beautiful part about all that is it's being tested big time. And what I love about that is two things. Use case, let's work the bugs out of it in somewhere like Palau. That's kind of a great starting place. Okay. The other thing is, before we all adopt it and all we overwhelm the system, I know it's supposedly going to be able to do 80, I think it was 80 million transactions in a day, which is amazing, which is double what Swift does today. So before we do all that, let's try it in a smaller market. So I think it's a perfect test grounds. The second half of the question was,
what are your thoughts on the partnership?
Yeah, but yeah. Okay, let's remember back when 2-3 years ago, when El Salvador went to a Bitcoin-backed economy. Shouldn't say that. A equal reserve. They also have the same situation going on because they had a US dollar. Their dollar, spit it out. The dollar was backed, okay, and their currency was backed by the dollar, which in my opinion is the perfect place to test something like this, because then you're dealing with apples to apples, okay? That's the beautiful part. And I can't speak for Palau, but I can speak for what it meant to El Salvador. What El Salvador found out was after 22 years of being backed by the US dollar, the problem was every time the US would print money, they didn't get any of it. They only got the inflation from it. They didn't get the benefits of buying things or oil from other nations or whatnot. It only helped within the borders of the US, and anybody outside of the US that used the US dollar as a reserve currency didn't get the advantages. The other problem, and this is probably the biggest key to the whole answer, was the biggest problem they had was after 22 years of them basing their currency with the US dollar, the US banking system had 22 years to bank their citizens, and they didn't. They never did. Nobody got a bank account in that country. So I want to say 70% of the people in El Salvador never had a bank account. Well, why? Well, because they never met the US dollar standards, okay? So that's probably the same situation in Palau. The issue now, the beautiful part now is everybody has a Bitcoin wallet there. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. So what is that going to do with XRP? Same thing. Everybody's going to be able to get their wallet. They're going to be able to transact. They don't need a stinking bank. And the US banking system dropped the damn ball, and they're letting these people come in with these wallets and overtake their entire system because they're regulations, or you don't qualify, or you forgot to fill the form out perfectly. And therefore, the biggest issue here, okay, another one is the fact that you never get a loan. It's so hard to get a loan. You got to go to a loan shark. So how do you expand your business? So they've taken a giant portion of the people's wealth in the world, and only the wealthy get loans. Those aren't the people that need loans, right? The people who need the loans are the people who can never qualify for a bank account, and that's how they've suppressed the poor globally of the world.
Woo! Somebody had their Wheaties this morning.
It took me a while to get started.
Get going, Dad.
Holy moly.
completely agree with that. My mind immediately went to the comparison to El Salvador,
Yeah,
you know, and the
yeah.
adoption of Bitcoin. I was just talking to my friends yesterday about, you know, the IMF coming in there and trying to muck it all up. And it's just, is that going to happen? You know, or it's something to look
No,
at.
no. I know the media is telling everybody, oh, well, only 6% of the people use Bitcoin in El Salvador and all that. Look at all the other numbers. Don't listen to the negativity. Just figure out what they're doing and what it's done to their country, and the fact that they paid the IMF off is about all you need to know what's going on down there. That's huge, people. So,
Totally badass.
yeah.
Question
What
from
else we
John
got?
Lyons.
Brent, this is 2 parts, so it cuts off at the end. It doesn't. I guess there's a 40-character limit. So just I'll follow along, and then I'll pop up the second part.
Would you like to read, Elizabeth? I was just trying to save your eyes.
Oh, I'm fine. I got one eye.
Oh, okay. Then go.
John Lyons, greetings from Thailand. The question I'd love to have explained is a brief overview of the main players, families, groups at the top, and which crypto sides are they on? FED, JPM, IMF, BIS, BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, WEF, EU, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, other families, BRICS, BTC, XRP. Which side are these groups on?
First of all, are you trying to get me banned from YouTube?
Yeah.
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 This is a shameless plug, but I do more of that kind of conversation in the Patreon. I really don't want to get into too deep on YouTube about all that. I will say this, they are at war at the top. They are fighting, and that's obvious, and the exposure is daily. And I know there's 2 or 3 different coins or currencies that they really like, and some they don't. Clearly, they like XRP. They like Ripple. There's families at the top that love that coin. And all you have to do is, you know, look at Davos and who attends it and all those sort of things. But I say this all the time, whenever you're talking about families at the top, everyone thinks, oh, it's all those families just are in lockstep against us. Never the case. You can't get 2 people in the same family to agree on anything, let alone all of them against us. This is their downfall. Okay. This has always been their inability to organize and to rule us all. Otherwise, we would all be Egyptian slaves, right? And we're not. So they don't really control us all. However, in regarding the question, I do know that there are groups that you can say invented one coin or created one coin. Bitcoin kind of comes to mind. And then another group created something, and Ripple, maybe their coin. Those groups are always in competition. And I did a video about this. There's a group that adopted XLM that aren't in favor of XRP at the top, okay? And there's a few big players, and Mr. Microsoft comes to mind, okay, in that group. And those people don't like certain aspects of other coins, okay? Now, does that mean it's a black and white and these guys like those coins? No, it's a moving target. I don't know. I don't talk with all those people on a daily basis, but I do know kind of what side likes what side is more of a nationalist and what side is more of a globalist. And I do know that those 2 sides don't ever agree on anything. And I do know that they're obviously going to partake in cryptocurrencies. They are hitching the horses now to a wagon or another. And I don't have a list of all those coins. I really don't want to give all that prediction price as to what family picks which coin, but I would recommend you diversify because nobody's picked the perfect coin yet, in my opinion. I had a great conversation with Sean about exactly this. So Sean's in the chat earlier today, and I'm going to do a video about it one day, but I think it's going to have to be on my Patreon. I really do.
Nice.
I want Brent and Elizabeth to talk more today, and I'm doing a terrible job at that.
What do you want us to talk about?
You weren't doing so good on the questions.
I can't. I am zero educated, even though I listen to you daily, hourly. Okay, I know.
I can imagine.
Question from Andy D. What's the latest on CZ and Binance? We know the charts are manipulated and printed for us. How does that get unraveled and the winners allowed to fly? Do they plug in the actual organic trades? The US are suddenly passing regs for stables, etc. Are they all likely to get taken down?
What do you got on that, Brent?
I've been wondering about this for a long time. I'm a huge proponent for a proper stable coin. How we do that, I've heard ideas of backing it with precious metals. You pray for any stable coin that comes out there that they're doing what they're saying they're doing, which has not been really the case up until today's date.
Yeah.
Who's really out there? Who's really out there willing to make one? Who's a reputable company who is willing to go, completely decentralized with it?
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you, Dad, on the trade portion of the question. You were talking about gold and silver manipulation. As far as the price goes and the trade markets, do you see a way to create stability in that, particularly for crypto?
No, I don't. And there's a big picture reason for that answer. There's an issue going on. Okay, first of all, we think the Wall Street and stock market is stable. It's not. Never has been. It's always been manipulated. It's always been. And we think that all of the regulations that they're going to pass is going to make it conform and everybody's going to be solid. But we already know banks are stealing from citizens. Brokerage firms have taken people's accounts. Brokerage firms get slapped on the wrist for manipulating markets constantly. Nobody gets thrown in jail or nobody ever spends their life in prison for it. So it's going to continue. So to say that it's going to be like that one day if we get regulation and Senate votes on it and we get it, no, absolutely not. That's never going to be the case. Why? Because what's happening now is diversification, because all these other little countries are coming along going, well, I'm going to get my own accounts and I'm going to do my own brokerage and I'm going to do my own network. And that's what I love about CZ. There's so many people that are down on the man. I get it. But the guy bounces around the world because he's loyal to no one. And that's decentralized. Believe it or not, you may not like the guy. You may not like his policies. Oh, yeah, he's an insider trader. He wash trades. I got news for you. They all inside trade and they all wash trade. All of them today. Okay. Let's not forget, and I bring it up all the time, Bernie Madoff, okay, was on the damn rules committee. Okay. I don't know what else you need to know other than that. Like they're not going to be able to save you or make an honest market. So what do you and I need to do? You and I need to support the decentralized exchanges to our best. And then we need to promote the people who believe in peer-to-peer trading. We just need to. And that will withstand the test of time. And we will soon learn that those people have always been the problem. They've always been the system, and they've always skimmed off us. And then we don't need them, because you'll see how profitable trading, or trading amongst each other, or trading goods for coins in the future, decentralized, is going to promote the little man. And it's a dream, I know, but it's coming, and it will be here. So, yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah. Well, Dad, I think we'll learn to truly appreciate the value and utility of what we have in these cryptos.
Yeah.
When that day starts coming, when we do have more decentralized markets, when
that's right.
People are really trading it and using it together.
And what Brent and I are learning is stop fearing the unknown.
Yes.
Right. So huge. I'm going to top up my drink here. Read the next
Alan,
one.
will you hear me? Okay. Question from Crypto Professor. I have been spending a lot of time learning about different methods of wealth preservation, including trusts, real estate, precious metals, and so on. Curious of how your thoughts on indexed universal life insurance like the Nelson Nash method. Thank you so much. God bless. God bless everybody else as well. Alan, anybody? Alan's got kind of a negative view on insurance in general, but I know that.
Well, this is what I've learned from the very wealthy. It depends on how well off you are. If you have tens of millions of dollars laying around, the worst thing you can do is insure yourself. I know that sounds backwards. The wealthy don't insure themselves. They incorporate, they make sure that if somebody slips and falls on their boat, that they don't own the boat. Corporation owns the boat. Boats registered overseas. Totally different tax laws, totally everything's different. Now, when you understand what level you want to protect, in other words, some people think $1 million is a lot of money, and it is in a lot of places in the world, in a lot of communities. You can live the rest of your life on that, and that's great. If you are your average American, life insurance is probably a good idea. In particular, if you're going to hang on to some wealth that way, or if you're passing it along to your kids or your wife. I don't like extortionists. I don't. That's who I think they are. Are they an evil necessity in life? Yeah, unfortunately they are. But now, wealth storage, I'm a huge fan of precious metals for storing what you've earned. I just am. That's generational. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in this next statement, but if I were to make $10 million tomorrow in XRP, I would buy some Bitcoin. I just would, that's me.
Yeah.
There's many other coins too that you could buy to preserve your wealth. Monero comes to mind. I mean, there's so many different.
You mentioned Bitcoin and Monero. We lost half our listeners.
Or gone.
Gone.
They're offended.
It's a little humor.
Or hang on to the coin that made you the wealth, and find a way to stake it.
Yeah. Wait for the advances to show up.
But find a tax haven, find a good accountant, incorporate before, you're too rich. That's, I guess, the answer to that. Anyway, hopefully I answered that.
When am I purchasing that life insurance policy?
Hey, the way I live my life, you should have bought that a while back.
Oh yeah. Remember the rock and the stick? Oh my God. What a mess. All right.
Yeah.
Another Patreon. I think it was a person that had another question that was posted. My apologies that I don't have the name. Can you share all you know about Tron? you can either Brent's writing notes as well for show ideas. This may be a show separately, and then I'm posting after this Laurel's comment about it, her 2 cents or his, and then I am going to turn that over to Brent for now.
I'm not a fan, so I don't really follow it. Justin Sun, in my opinion, the creator or designer, whatever he is, of Tron, in my opinion, is a showboat. He's he's just always rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't know whether that's, universe or spirit coming to me and saying, hey, just gut feeling, or everybody has their own reasons for being that way about different coins. I've never liked it. I still can't believe it's in the top 20. I think it's probably going to be a moneymaker. If you own Tron and you believe in it, you clearly know a lot more than I know about it. So yeah. I would never want to say anything negative because I don't know enough about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Tron to speak on it either.
Yeah.
That's going on the list right there with Caspa.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys could take a look at Laurel's comments. The viewers could take a look at Laurel's comments. She had some 2 cents. I'll read that to you. Sorry, Alan. I forgot you can't see it. Tron is great. Oh, okay. You can see it. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Next question. Yeah. Cody Garcia, a YouTube viewer. I heard about people in Venezuela using silver to survive the recent economic crash. And that was a follow-up from the previous discussion.
I heard stories of 1 ounce of silver. People were living for 6 months at a time on 1 ounce.
Wow.
In a country where people were, eating the kangaroos out of the zoo.
Oh boy.
So
I think you can eat kangaroo meat. Now we know.
I'm sure there's an Aussie or two in the crowd that probably sampled it.
I mean, I think sometimes in Australia they become overrun with them, but I don't know. I've never been.
No,
so
they do.
I'm just walking out my ass. XRP slave. Did you find? Oh, sorry, Brent. Did you find? Now we've really lost. The viewers went to 0 after that one. The pigs was fine. It was only 50% loss, but the kangaroos did us in. Did you find anything about Harmony 1, Brent? What do y'all think about the ledger stacks for a cold wallet XRP slave?
Did you look that one up, Brent?
I started to, and it's on the list with about 10 others that do the exact same thing. I've owned Harmony. I initially, when it came onto market, I thought it was a really good buy for myself personally at the time. I remember getting into the specs and saying like, wow, there's going to be use case here. So that's kind of, and that was I'd say over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago. I was into that. So I have owned Harmony 1, or just Harmony. And I'd like to go back and reread and get myself familiar with the specs. To speak on that more, you guys. So we've got a question asked about Tron today. Another one that was asked last week is about Caspa.
Yeah, you did look into that, right?
Yeah. So what I really got into is the trilemma. And then my brain squirreled off into like blockchain 5 universe
subject, yeah.
Because again, even more important. I feel like as a method for me to share and maybe possibly teach on the show is understanding these kind of philosophical things that make up each blockchain. And something that Dad was speaking about Tron, and questions that he has is the company solid? Is the blockchain solid? when we look at the trilemma, we're looking at security, we're looking at decentralization, and we're looking at scalability. And scalability is transactions per second. So usually what gets sacrificed is security in the chain. But can you keep your security robust while also being able to deliver high volume transactions cross border in a decentralized network? And so when these projects show me that, when that checks the box, and for Ben Gallardo and Sith Lord in here, both have shouted out to me about Caspa and how they're like, hey Brent, we really think this checks the boxes. And so I would like to go back, look at Tron, look at Number One, look at their utilities, and make sure that I can speak to them properly. Because they're big companies doing amazing things. I would not want to mislead. So on the list, I'll make sure and have a little write-up for each of those next week, so we can give you guys a little more thorough analysis.
We've had a few questions. I'm just going to jump in right here, guys. Thanks, Brent. That was great. I'm glad you covered that. That was because the Web 5 is like, once I start getting into that, I'm lost. I'm gone for hours. So, you have to pull me out by my life jacket, I'm in deep.
I got you, Captain. I got you.
So, but I want to address something that I did look into this week more, and somebody asked about it a bunch of times last week, and that was Flair.
Mm-hmm.
And we had so many questions about it. I, in fact, was on, while I was cleaning house this morning for the boat, I was on CJ's channel. I know many people who follow XRP know who CJ is. Unbelievable channel, great follow, really smart, sharp dude. I highly recommend his channel. And he had a live stream this morning, and I posted a question in there, basically that, what are your feelings about, Flair? And he had a great little dissertation on it that really I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I'm going to post it. I'm going to say it here that you guys can go check out his live stream today. And hopefully enough of you that are really into Flair can go look at it, because it was really well done. It was kind of towards the end of his live stream, and it was good stuff. I looked into Flair, and the only thing that I really understood about it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are in this boat, is a lot of the Flair coins are hung up. And a lot of people who did get their Flair are going to be able to stake their XRP with them. But a lot of people are in the same boat that I don't want to get into my accounts all that much, but our Flairs are tied up as well. And there's a bankruptcy involved and some other stuff. So that's kind of a bummer. And a lot of people lost they haven't lost them yet, because the company that went bankrupt didn't own the coins to begin with. Okay. So, but I did look into it. It's really neat. I didn't understand much about what they're doing now, because they're going into running a validator node, and staking, and the combination of like two different ways to earn and using the coin in both ways was sort of like a DeFi angle. And I was getting confused, and I was like, I gotta do way more research on that. So for me, I just thought I would address it. Sorry, I didn't get deeper in it, but I thought when I posted that question, he had a great answer. So he knows a lot more about it than I do.
Nice.
So what else do we have?
Sorry about that.
Thank you, XRP Slave, for the question.
Here we come. I've got Coal pen coming. What are your thoughts on being able to use XRP offline? And is this a possible method of avoiding banking system tyranny, or will our possible wealth be equally restricted?
What a great question.
Brilliant. That's
Brilliant.
we were talking about. I assume they're talking about peer-to-peer, right? Offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what we're talking about. I think it's brilliant. I think more and more of us are gonna do it and use it. It's not difficult. That's one of the things I love about what Elon's doing with the Starlink. I think it's going to be key. I mentioned this before. He's talking about bringing a phone out that goes directly to his satellite from you to another phone. And what are they going to do about it? How are they going to regulate it? How are they going to tell you that you can't do that? I know they could shoot them down. I know they're going to shut all the electricity off and we're going to have to trade coins, people out there. I know. I get it. We're going to have to trade silver coins. I got it. There's a bunch of that out there. I don't see that happening. If it goes to that and it's Mad Max, you don't want to live in that world. First of all, that's one of the things about fear that I really don't like, okay, or worry. If you're going to live in worry and fear, that means you're fearing something that hasn't happened yet. So you're living in an emotion that hasn't even occurred in your life yet, and yet you're living it. Because what we believe or what we think is our reality at the moment. So don't fear that. I hope I answered that, but without getting too crazy out there. But peer-to-peer is going to be awesome. And yes, all coins, I shouldn't say that. Not all coins. Probably all coins. Not all tokens, but all coins should be able to be traded peer-to-peer. Let me think about it. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. They have to have their own blockchain. Yeah. I don't think they can be on another blockchain. Probably still work. Anyway.
I love it, Dad.
Hey, Sean. Love you, brother. I just saw a comment in there. And
Nice.
love me some Brenda, too.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda was at the show.
Interesting. Something is happening, Big Red Wave, which is true. And then you guys were all bagging on Tron, and Tron's up in the Big Red Wave. So I don't know.
See you, Lisa.
Something is happening. Big red wave is happening now.
Yeah, the market's red, except for Tron. Tron just went up. They heard you speaking, so they went up. It went up. But
Everybody bought it.
It's all red except for Shibu, which is a joke. But yeah, Uniswap, Internet Computer.
Uniswap had big news this week. Yeah.
Okay. Quant, Maker.
Nice.
XDC.
Lovely.
This one is weird because it shows green, but it's down. Bitcoin SV. I'm just looking at the red. I'm really using a grade 6 level analysis here. Pax dollar shows green. GMX Pax gold, although it just took a spike. There's all these spikes down now.
Oh.
Frax. And I'm just getting into some of this. Dash is way down.
What is
it's a 2%, 3% down kind of day.
Oh, okay. On a Sunday, that's unusual, actually.
It's like, but it's all red. Well, no, Sunday's kind of Friday, everybody sells off and then comes back and starts all over. I don't know if I can make this chart go higher. Bitcoin SV is up in the last 24 hours, 5.29%. Bitcoin Cash.
That's what I couldn't remember last week. Bitcoin SV.
3% Optimism, Bone, Shibu Swoop, XDC, and then it's all minimal.
I'm not ashamed to say that we own some of Shiba Inu.
Yeah, let's not brag about that too much. Okay, next.
If people knew what it was, then they'd probably be interested in purchasing it.
I'm getting behind here. Alan, what are your thoughts on the Divi project?
Oh boy. I think it's a screaming buy, but that's me personally. I love the people who run it. I love personally whenever one of my favorite things to do is find coins that have a great team, that have a great idea, have a great wallet, have great tech, have great security, have all of that, and they're 95% down in price.
And
Because you know they're not going
you can
anywhere.
talk to a real person.
Yeah, that's a screaming buy to me. Whenever you see 95% down, you're like, okay, is it going away? A lot of things that are 95% down are, yeah, okay, they're down for a reason. It was a pump and dump, and they're gone. But Divi is not a pump and dump. Divi runs a great project. And are they perfect? No. Are they going places? In my humble opinion, yes, they are. Do I have any insight on them? Not really. Although I do love the founder. Whenever I hear him speak, I have confidence and I understand what he's talking about. And he is very, very good. Yes. Nick and Jeff, thank you,
Yeah.
Crypto Professor.
We love
Nick
them
and
too.
Jeff are both brilliant people. So yeah, I'm not telling you to buy it. I know a lot of people that have lost, I shouldn't say this, they've lost a lot of equity in it. Okay.
Mhm.
They've lost equity. If you're, I'm going to say this one more time to my people here. If you ever sell a coin for less than what you paid for it, why? Unless you had to sell it to pay the rent. I understand that. That makes sense.
But then why are you using your rent money to buy an investment?
Well, because life changes and your job changes and your career
Understood,
changes.
but
Yeah.
just count it out.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like you went to Vegas and put it in a slot machine. Just count it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people never say, oh, well, my house went down $100,000. I lost $100,000. They never say that about houses, do they? They only say that about stocks and crypto, which is not correct. Yeah. 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 I love me some Jeff.
I'm excited to see Divi's transition into the sort of how the future goes with all of this. Because as we know, their motto is making everything easier for all of us.
Yeah.
And it's kind of become my motto too. I want us to have safe, secure wallets that are easy to use and easy for Dad and I and Elizabeth to trade on, all of you to trade on with us, all of you to trade on with each other. Again, so we're using it. So we're actually, not only do we have skin in the game, we are the game. We are the bank. And seeing what Divi's future will be with masternodes and the potential of being able to, you know, basically have like a property dad and try to, you know, instead of owning a rental property like we've talked about in the past, trying to have something that can earn you an income just running on your computer. And so Divi's changes and transitions and evolution of the company it's going to be very interesting, and I'm always a Divi guy. I just always will be. I really believe in what those people are doing.
They have a game plan, and they tick the game plan off the box every single time. And I love that about a project. And their wallet's good, really good.
Yeah.
Their security is amazing, and they have bright future. So, yeah. Again, 95% down in a bear market is a good thing. People look at it and go, "Oh my God, the project's dust now." It's like, anyway, no, it's a good buy.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just saying I think it's a good buy.
Mhm. What do you all think of XLM? Is it better to have bags of both XRP and XLM, or focus only on XRP? That question is from Sean Flynn, Dad. Or you can see it now.
Okay.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Sean, for the question. There's so many ways I can go with this one, but I'm just going to go down this simple one. It's weird here in the U.S. I don't know where you're at, Sean, but everything changes week to week, right? Well, the SEC like 2 weeks ago was like, "Oh my God, if it's an ICO, it's poison." And then now I'm hearing Congress go, "Well, it's just an ICO. It's kind of a clever way to finance things, actually, So I don't know where they're going to go with that. Are they going to prosecute everybody or go after everybody who ICO'd? And as we know, XLM ICO'd. Okay.
Mhm.
So is that going to be a thorn in their back going forward? We don't know that yet. So that, I know that's really not a broad answer, but it is still in the back of your mind. Everyone who owns XRP, well, wow, we won our lawsuit last week. It's like, no, you didn't win anything. XRP did,
Right.
Yeah, you didn't win anything, but they kind of feel like they did. And I love Stellar. I've always loved what Jeb was doing, what his plan was, the way it's going to be used for the little man, and I understand all that, and I think it's brilliant tech, and I think it could really. I don't personally. I'm not buying more XLM personally. Doesn't mean I'm anti. Love it. I think it's going to be a good coin to own in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first projects I was interested in and purchased.
Yeah.
And that was a great point, Dad. We will see if they get the same kind of treatment that XRP just got.
Right.
Remains to be seen. Hopefully not.
And the question is where's the $200 million for a 2.5 year long lawsuit going to come from with XLM?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Yeah.
How about Stephen McCoy? How many years do you think it will take for crypto to become mainstream?
Great question, Stephen. I like this question.
You mean before the every truck driver in the town knows what it is? When it's too late.
Didn't Cliff talk about that as well? Did he have a forecast, Alan, or was he just saying that when everybody knows about it, then it's too late?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Steve, it's going to be. First of all, let me say this: the industry, every industry understands what blockchain is today. All of them. Okay. Almost all of anybody to do with a bank or a market. I had a phone call from our buddy Simon last week, and Simon called me and he said, I was just in my local bank, and the guy knew everything about XRP, and he knew everything about what's coming, and he knew everything how it applies to his bank, tiny little local bank. Okay. And I remember 4 or 5 years ago, I went into the bank and I mentioned the word Bitcoin, and they thought it was like a board game. They had no idea what it was. Yeah. So, mainstream, it's already on all the financial channels. They all cover it. I mean, so that's I said,
everybody's had some form of exposure, but I call it the bridge. The bridge is where we all walk across it and we start using it. Like the dad told me at the story, the 100th monkey once. you know, where the scientists go to the island and they teach the snow monkeys how to wash the radioactive material off the coconuts in the river. Well, years go, and they're trying to teach his monkeys, washing the coconuts. And they found that the 100th monkey that learned how to do it, not only were they monkeys teaching each other how to do it, but the snow monkeys, which I also feel like we're connected to, there were other snow monkeys on other islands that were able to do it. So that bridge of when people are actually like, this makes sense for me to use at the store, at 7-Eleven, paying my rent, you know, paying for anything that you need. My guess is 15 years
from now.
It
won't be that long.
Because of the complexity of the global economic system and all these questions that we're asking each other now. And we're not transacting with it yet, really. El Salvador certainly is, you know, but even that, Dad, like people are saying, is a very low percentage. Whether that's true or
I think
not.
I'd go within 5 years.
Yeah, I'm going to go with like 5. The thing about technology is it's really slow, and then all of a sudden you turn around and everybody's on their phone with it.
Exactly.
You know, it's like
like a phone.
Yeah.
So
5's a better
question.
guess. I'm just thinking it's going to be like the evolution of
the phone.
You know, how we went from like the cell phone, where it was like we barely had anything that resembled this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'd say within 15, yes.
But just think about the evolution of this crypto. 15 years from now, we're going to be in a totally different level of tech with it all. Just think of what AI is going to do to it all. Like, AI is coming fast, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different subject. Okay, next question. All right.
Sean Robbins. Hey, Alan, long time no talk. Any thoughts on the allocated XRP with R3/Corda defunct contract, and also Greg Kidd 1 billion XRP with Global? Sorry if question was asked twice. That's my bad if it was asked already.
Yeah. That's funny. He got me with the first one. I was just on the phone with Sean a minute ago. He's really trying to get me in trouble on this one. I see where he's going. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Well, we can always bookmark.
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. First of all, the Corda group and the R3, the connection and the contract that he's talking about, okay, is still being scrutinized by the powers that be, to my knowledge. The problem with the deductions that have leaked out are people going, oh, well, that means this, or that's the problem here. And how come those people had access to begin with? So the whole thing is unraveling in a very negative way. And every time I hear negative press come out like that, it tells me it's not accurate. I'm going conspiratorial on this one. Okay. But it is, Greg is in trouble in hot water. If you ask anybody on the social media side, in my opinion, dude's not exposed to anything. I mean, I don't think he's going to be in any kind of trouble at all. So I don't, that's my opinion. I'm looking past today, and I'm looking, this whole thing's going to blow over and nobody's even really going to know the difference. That's what little bit I know about it. Anytime, has anybody noticed how little trouble that Sam Bankman-Fried is in these days? Like,
How little?
really strange to me, isn't it? Like, I don't mean to change the question, Sean, but what's going on with that dude? Why all of a sudden is he getting a free pass on everything? You know, Bernie Madoff's rotting in prison, and that guy, I don't even know if he's going to go behind bars. It's just a wacky world we live in right now. It's like if you say something against something that is the narrative, you're the big problem today. But the narrative is so absurd that like nobody believes it's real anyway. It's weird.
Yeah.
And things that people used to go to prison for, or politicians used to lose their jobs over, are like an everyday commonplace now. Like, oh yeah, no, they don't get in trouble for that anymore. They get a hall pass on that now. Oh,
Yeah.
who knew? Anyway,
My favorite meme I saw this week, Dad, was it's a picture of someone up in arms, and it's saying people finding out that there's really aliens, and then underneath it it's how everybody's treating it, and it's just Elmo just kind of doing this like
right.
Oh well,
Isn't that interesting that I did a video or two about this, like, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I was like, well, when they pull out the UFO card, it's their final card. Like that's as far as we can take this whole absurdity. And it will be their last card they pull before the whole thing has to get reshuffled. And here we are. Yeah.
I agree. It just seems like it's been chuck out socialist issue after social issue after social issue, all to cover up this, nastiness of economic practice.
Yes.
Inflationary doom. That's complete what I love about crypto, folks, is it eats inflation. It is the inflation sponge.
Yes.
And we should use it as such.
They have existed off inflation for thousands of years. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And corrupted systems financially with it. Yeah.
Sean, next time, be nice to your friends. Don't ask these questions. All right.
He's trying to get me bounced off YouTube.
Oh, yeah. OSW. Finance stable pools using Viper 0.2.15 have been exploited for over 47 million as a result of malfunctioning reentrancy lock.
Whoa. I only read the title on that, and I don't know much about it.
Yeah, okay. I don't know Viper.
Brent's taking notes. He's taking notes.
So I'm going to do the paragraph on everything that's mentioned next week, guys. So we'll have a nice little write-up. And we can ask Dad about it, and we'll do some back and forth to try to get you guys some more info.
How about a softball?
Here's one I know about.
Filecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
so
got this one, Brent.
I did a video on this. If y'all want to go back and check it out, I kind of went again blockchain 5 angle on it because I want to teach people about crypto, but I think in teaching it, it's all about getting us excited about what it is. And when I got into Filecoin, Teresa, thank you for the question. I got really excited about a project. It was doing something different, and it was doing something that I was like, okay, Filecoin is all about data storage. And it's about storing that data in a way where you can basically, I'm going to really butcher this at the moment, but you can store a whole ton of data into a very, very small, compact suitcase, and you can send that suitcase to Mars if you want to, or what the company thinks is going to happen with it. You can send it out into space. You can send the internet and all of the information out into space, or you could, if you're in some isolated area in the world that doesn't have internet, you can literally go to the CPU or your server, download the entire whatever you want into it, and then boom, you're good. So you do need the ability to be connected or to be able to send with internet connection, but Filecoin allows safe.
It's a giant database.
Yeah.
And it's just a massive sponge that's it can grow exponentially. Like literally forever. It can obtain more and more and more and more. But it's quick, easy access, and it's filing. The way they use it is so brilliant. The way they set it all up, you can access information, pluck pieces out of it as simply as anything that's ever been created before. It took what's the coin that's almost just like it? Chainlink. But no, it's not like Chainlink. There's another one, But anyway, it's just like that one, only better in my opinion. I love the coin. I love the project. Anyway, I don't stop talking about what I own and what I don't own.
Well, with this one, it's
what I own.
Decentralization and immutability, and then think about your data and your ownership of your things that aren't your crypto. And when those things are able to be, issued into smart contracts and able to put on the blockchain, and you have, like Dad is saying, access to it, and it's also secure. That's what those guys are trying to do.
Yeah. I also want to say thank you to Teresa. Stick around, girl. We are headed the direction that she keeps asking me about, more benevolence shows and stuff like that. And she's really an amazing. She just shared a book with me, I want to say. Anyway, I think it was. She shared a book with us in her Patreon. It was really cool. I want to look it up. Yeah. Thank you, Teresa, for the question.
Did it have a lot of pictures, Vern?
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a good one. This might be a Patreon topic, but I'm going to lay it on you. Laurel Missick, question. What are thoughts on Ripple being involved with the WEF? Do you think it's just their plan for all the money?
Yes.
I'm kind of starting to think that. Honestly, it's
You're right. It's kind of a I can dance around this one. There's some stuff going on that I know about with XRP, and I put the pieces together. And I used this analogy with Sean earlier, and it's if you see pasta cooking in a pot, and then you see tomato sauce in another pot, and then you see somebody rolling meatballs, you could pretty much assume you're going to have spaghetti that night. You know what I mean? So that's the deductions I've come up with on, yes, it is the WEF coin. Yeah, I've seen the meatballs, and yeah, I've seen the pasta. So yeah, it's a WEF coin. But remember what I said earlier about the WEF, okay? There's more than one family, and they don't agree on anything. I mean, you can't get twins to agree on anything. So is it all done? No. You know why I know it's not all done and finalized, and who decided which coin we're going to use for 75% of the movement of the money? You know why I know that hasn't happened yet? because XRP is 70 cents. When XRP goes from 70 cents to $700 in a month, you're going to know they're in. Then you're going to know what coin they picked.
Yeah.
Till that happens, they pretty much picked Bitcoin because Bitcoin went from pennies to where it is. That's pretty much proof. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hope that makes sense.
Thoughts on Saitama? Saitama?
Saitama.
Sorry if I've only heard of it.
Andrea Handfuss.
I'm sorry, Andrea. I don't know enough about it to even.
Andrea, we're doing the paragraph project. It's going
All
on the list.
What are
We'll
your
look it up.
thoughts about Ripple being the quote Fed Reserve Bank for digital assets? Kind of a complement to the other question, probably. Your thoughts of PolySign being the DTCC for digital assets, KSpec 1515. For those of us not in the know, what the heck is a DTCC?
Okay, what he's asking right here is when you have to decide what you're going to use for the Federal Reserve or the federal banking, central banking system. Okay. And has that been chosen? I just kind of answered that in the last one. In my opinion, no, they haven't picked that coin yet. Okay. Thoughts on PolySign? It's not. I don't know this. I don't know that. I love PolySign. I think it's a great project. I think they saved Ethereum, essentially, in my opinion. If PolySign didn't come along, Ethereum wouldn't be what it is today. There's a whole lot of people in that little WEF group that we were just talking about that really loves loves Ethereum. So that might be a coin you'd really want to own you some PolySign. But that's the best answer I could give on that one. I'm not gonna
notes, Brent.
That's notes, and that's about all I could say on it as well.
All right.
The past studies of Ethereum and PolySign are interesting, and to seeing how the two will be. What if nobody talks about Ethereum anymore? Speaking of chosen, not the one I want to see, but
weren't you the one that turned me on to PolySign, Brian? You were into it a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Especially Ethereum. Woo.
Okay, I got Cody's question.
What's up, Cody? Thanks for all the comments, Laurel.
Code Man. Yes. In a nutshell, do I think they're going to be ultimately a better? I love Uphold. I love the people I met at the show of Uphold. I think they're incredible. Look how fast they've grown. They were the only one that had stones enough to keep XRP running while the court case was going on. Amazing, good people. I met Clive, I believe was his name, who works for Uphold at the show. And he was very, what can we do? How can we help you? How can we fix this? Whatever it is your problem is, we want to make it right. Type of attitude about them and their exchange. I loved it. I think it's a great exchange, Uphold. Better than Coinbase? Yeah, but Coinbase is miles ahead of them because Coinbase is, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of what Coinbase did is Coinbase went and they did a corporate rating of all the Wall Street institutions, and they stole the best traders. And they took these people from options traders and markets and the top guys, and they brought them onto Coinbase. And Coinbase is going to tokenize all of the options all of those tradings, all of those ETFs, and they're miles ahead of everybody else because they stole the best at it. And a lot of people don't know all that, but it's true. And that's what they did. They're way ahead of a lot of people. So better, I don't know why pick one. Use them both if they work. Don't keep your coins on either one of them. But yeah.
What do you think about the banks and Basel III implementations and its effect to cryptos? JP Martin.
I was having to look up Basel III.
Yeah, I hope we get it. I hope there is Basel III. I mean, I really do. I think it could solidify a lot of the networks, and I think it could be good for global economy. I really do. I think the first one was great. The second one was good too. Why not? They got away from it so that they could just go willy-nilly with printing of money. And I think the implementation, if I'm going to follow the question, is going to be great for cryptos. Remember, cryptos brings even if you've created 100 billion XRP coins out of thin air, there's only 100 billion of them.
Right.
That's really what.
And there's an account of where they're all going.
Right.
Who they're all coming to.
Yeah. And they really don't want accountability. And that's what Basel III is going to bring. So I think it's going to be good.
Banking stability.
Yeah. JP, great question, by the way. I got to plug my phone in. I'm about to die here, guys.
Oh, okay. I see some kind of an error here. Okay. I've got one last comment, and then I've got to get down and take care of los cerdos.
Nice.
Mr. Trupa, what are the 3 top reasons you're bullish on HBAR and Hedera? Very few influencers are discussing HBAR despite offering 6.5% APY yield on cold storage.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yes,
we are. Good.
Why are you bullish on HBAR and Hedera, Dad?
It's incredibly fast. It's incredibly cheap. The security's off the charts. It's got a ton of competition, but it's more futuristic. In my opinion, it's a long-term buy and hold. But my biggest reason why I'm bullish, because all those bank documents that I get and all the charts and graphs that I read have got HBAR all over them. These are documents that big banking institutions are talking about. Quant, HBAR, Algorand. Nations are picking these things up to run not just their economic systems, to run their voting systems, to run their traffic systems, to run whatever. I mean, look at not long ago, we were looking at California picked up Tezos to run their DMV. Like, all of this is happening, and HBAR is amazing tech, and it costs nothing to run. It is one of its best advantages.
Any closing remarks, Alan, Brent?
Closing remarks? We're already done?
Oh, no, not necessarily.
We'll keep going. I can see the chat, so I'll try to check in and throw some more questions out.
Okay. Well, you guys just chat it up. I'm just trying to when I hit end, it has to end at my end. Thanks,
Elizabeth, for she's playing wounded today.
Yeah,
we appreciate all your help.
Yeah. So I'm going to stay online, hit the mute mic, and then I guess I'll just come back and don't end the broadcast, I guess, until I get back. Because if you end on your end, Alan, it's going to start downloading on your end. Just sorry for the technical train wreck stuff. I know, train wreck. So I'll just mute it and I'll be back. You guys chat it up, but I have to end on my end.
Okay. Yeah. There's 30 people in the chat here. Let's go.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. So, and Microsoft is partnered with HBAR. How are the pigs on the, here I can, how are the pigs? Way too many, Brenda, way too many pigs. And now there's a boy that got left in with all the girls, and there's about
Oh, boy.
16 girls. And so it's quite
Yeah.
frightening as to what's
It's
happening.
an abundant planet we live on,
Oh,
people.
boy.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
got a great phone call yesterday, Elizabeth, about that. So it's
Oh,
good
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
So we don't want to talk about processing pigs. Today, we're talking about they're looking for a snack and a little water. They
Yeah.
like to have a little rainfall, play with them, hose them down. But they have wallows, but they like to, us when we spray them with water, they like
Yeah.
that. And just make sure everybody's okay. And then Golden chases me around and it takes me a while. So I'll be back to end the broadcast. You guys have fun. Thanks for the question, Brenda. Fun. We're not allowed to say pigs. See, there's my alarm. Go feed the pigs. Water animals.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Brenda. Great question. Yeah.
Hey, I want to tell Elizabeth too, I will, but I really loved your breast video, Dad, that y'all put up on Divis Farms. Really good.
Yeah, we have another channel called Themis Farms. It's kind of our hokey little farm channel, which is what my hat always is.
The little bell goes off and they go feed the pigs.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda was so cool. She was at the show, Brent, and we all had a table at this at the Breeze Bar, and
Nice.
she and I must have sat there and talked with her for a long time, and it was just really cool to meet people. It was so much fun. I can't wait till that show happens again.
Yeah, me too.
What do we got? A price prediction
for quant.
Wow.
Oh boy.
If it turned, well, that's kind of a tricky little way to ask that one. I like that. If CBDCs turned on 60% of the world in 2024, I don't know. What do you think about that, Brent? Quantsit, what is Quantsit like?
Let me see.
$7? No, I'm mixing that up with something else.
Yeah, Quant's a paragraph one as well, because I really want to. It's one that we really need to discuss. Like Dad has been saying, a lot of the crazy, wild, fun reading that we've done, it's in there.
Yeah.
You look at ISO coins, it's in there. There's gonna be. Yeah, and I want to do a comparison of that and look at CBDCs. This is a great question. And it's like.
Oh yeah, Molly.
I wonder if that's supposed to be like emoji smiley faces.
Yeah.
Elizabeth left this big comment in here. I'm like, I'm trying to see you guys.
Yeah, I have an apology to make, actually.
What do you got?
Molly's right. I was confusing poly sign with Polygon.
Yeah. Polygon. I was thinking about that too. I was like,
I'm like, no.
They have even similar logos. Like it's similar.
I know, but I totally know what poly sign is. I was just went Polygon because I was listening to.
I went Polygon too.
Yeah, I was just listening to CJ go off this morning about Polygon. So it was funny. I was like, I just confused the two. Sorry about that. Good catch on that, Molly.
Yeah, thank you. We went full blown Polygon on it.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I'm not even drinking. Like, I don't know.
You're not drinking on the boat? What are you,
sober?
No,
I'm on a yacht. I'm not even drinking. It's iced tea. And not Long Island.
Talk
what
a
else we
little
got in there?
Northern Living. Talk a little bit about Vet.
About who?
Vet. Veritasium?
VeChain?
VeChain?
Yeah.
VeChain.
I love me some VeChain. That's
Yeah.
another coin. That's another coin that I may or may not have bought a long time ago, and I'm really kind of glad I did, or maybe did. People ask me this all the time, and they always ask me what's your favorite coins, and maybe I could just rattle a few off right now.
Yeah.
I love the top. Let's just go with the top. I'm not a huge Ethereum fan, but I do like Bitcoin. Sorry, anybody that doesn't like it, I do. I like XRP. I like, well, there's too many to name, right? But
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of VeChain. Is in my top 10 coins to own as far as I'm concerned.
Me too.
And if you don't own some VeChain, it's gotten a little pricey, compared to some of the other ones. But it's because it's valuable and it's going places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
It came from nothing.
Yeah.
It really came from nothing, and it has this just incredible upside utility application. It's just
It does. It does.
Look into VeChain, everybody. Just look into it.
And it's going to run industry. It's just industry is going to run on VeChain. Yeah. So
Tezos is very interesting. I again, Dad, it's like a utility thing for me. It's what it does.
Yeah. Outdoor Boys was asking me to run a little further. XDC, obviously, XRP, XLM. I love all of those. Quant, Algorand.
Corda.
Yeah. Well, no, Corda's not a coin. That's a company.
Company,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love all those. VeChain. All of them. Chainlink. Holy smokes. Chainlink. Love that project. Let's see. Gosh. I like Tezos a lot. I like to bake Tezos. It's all good. Which is staking, but they call it baking there. What else? God, there's so many. I love all those, put it that way.
Yeah, Divi, Digi.
Yeah, those are way down the list, but yeah.
Litecoin.
I can roll with Litecoin. I can't say I own much of it anymore. Yeah, I think it's going places. I really do.
Nice.
I know banks love it. That's what I know about it. Yeah, those are kind of insider bank. Those are insider bank coins. They love those. I don't know why. Yes, Peter, I agree. There's something sneaky going on about Ethereum. I don't know what it is. I don't trust it. I don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you can make money on it. I know it. It's a coin that's going to go up in value, and all the ERC20 tokens that are built on it are going to be fine, I'm sure, because the network isn't going anywhere. But yeah.
Yeah.
Outdoor Boys. Yeah, Tezos and File. Yeah, I like both those a lot. Filecoin in particular. If I were going to buy either one of those, I'd make sure I had some Filecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Ethereum primarily owned by China. I guess I should say this now. It's a good time to say it. I'm not an anti-China guy. I'm just not. We all play in the same sandbox now. So I
Yeah.
don't go down that whole, you know, they're going to hold it over our heads and, you know, we're going to have to get a gun out and shoot each other because they have something we don't. Or something. I don't know. I don't go down that route. It's okay if people do, whatever, you know, but I know there's a lot of channels that play that, wave that American flag and, oh, okay, we can't trust them because they're Russian and they're China. Yeah, I don't play that game. They're just human beings. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just human beings.
Yeah.
That
Yes. Al's Pond. Yeah. Gala.
Gala Games.
Yeah. That one, and God, what's the other one? It's kind of the same, and I like it a lot too. Chili's. Man, I like that Chili's project. I really do. I just think you can do well on both of those because kind of for the same reason. They're really into gaming, Hollywood, sports. All of that is huge. Gala's the best as far as that all that goes and where it's going. And what little bit I know about that arena, I'm just lightly read in that area. I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. A good friend of mine that I've worked with, I'd say the person besides all of us that actually knows the most about crypto in my life. He's just a huge NFT, Gala, Chili's, Sandbox, like just that guy. I can just tell, and he's really digging in deep to try to do well in this next run, whenever this is, and you know, live his life that way, do the crypto thing. And I'm just so happy for him. Shout out to you, Jeremiah, if you're on the channel. I haven't seen you in here today, but
V-Chain is a sponsor.
You got me interested. I want to look into Gala Games, but also, can you give us a take on? Oh shoot! I had it in the brain.
Melody is going to be on our show. She's a massive Gala fan, and she's a neighbor. She's a very long-time follower of our channel, and she's a neighbor who lives down the hill from me. Kind of lives wherever the outdoor boys are, down that way. And she knows so much about it. Gala, she keeps me informed, which is really good.
Nice.
Yeah. What else we got in there, Brent?
Let's see. V-Chain is a sponsor of the UFC. Nice.
I have heard that.
That's big.
Yeah.
Saying 2 cents to $2 for Gala Games in a run.
Yeah.
We got Al's Pond saying $2 is conservative.
I agree.
Very cool.
I do love. I know he can be controversial for a lot of people, but I love ADA. I have followed that project since day one, Cardano. I like it. I think I love how open it is, how open source it is. You can build whatever you want on it. I think it's the better Ethereum, in my opinion. Time will tell, and I may be proven wrong on that guess, but in my opinion, it's way better than Ethereum. And so, we'll see how that works out.
I love Cardano. I hope it works out.
Yeah.
I hope it gets to where you and I want it, Dad.
Oh, yeah. I got me some Cardano.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jay. Music token is the next big thing after ISO from OSW. Got any good
I
music
doubt
tokens?
that. What's that?
Got any good music tokens?
No, I don't. But I don't doubt it. Makes sense. It's
Mhm.
in the progression, right? It'll work its way down the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any updates on Theta, Dad?
On Theta,
Yeah,
I
what do we
don't.
know? Do we
I
know
don't. I
anything
know.
about what they're doing?
I noticed it's been moving lately, and I looked into it, and I couldn't find anything on it. I was like, why is it moving? And we are not in a bull market. We are not in a what do I want to say? We're not even in a alternative coin market other than Bitcoin. I forgot what the term is for that, but anyway, we're not moving upwards right now. We are all going flat line sideways. Okay, but everybody said, "Oh, we're 2% down" in the beginning of the video. That's a good thing, and I know a lot of people aren't going to understand what I'm about to say. But as a trader, if your initial move really fast is down or up, look for the opposite move. When you've had a flat market for a very, very, very long time, it's been weeks. You can look how flat it's been, okay? And your initial move is down and it's sharp. In fact, you'd want, like in crypto, you'd want 4 or 5% down. If you can see that, look for it to snap and go the other way. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
Nice. This
Look
puppy's
for a
got
big upward
a
movement.
pulse.
Yeah. Unless you're clearly in a downtrend again, which I don't believe we are. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Seems like there's been good news this week, but it's also strange anymore, Dad. Who knows?
I know, right? Up is down.
I was panicking last week. You guys heard me. I was like, man, UPS is talking about striking. Paperwork's still not signed. That's this week, but sounds like they dealt on that. And then we got to deal with presidents and corruption, and then aliens gets page 2. You know, it's like, dude, y'all got me thinking about all that. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. If Binance gets taken down, how far will we dump?
we won't. I mean, yeah. First of all, where are they going to take it down at? U.S. Oh, okay. We've been through that already. Wasn't that like
done that?
That was 2019, right? I mean, didn't that already happen? And then they came back with Binance US. Binance doesn't, or I shouldn't say that. US doesn't run crypto. And I think everybody's starting to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they do, but they don't. And they don't move the needle that much anymore. So, you know, the Asian markets are growing. The whole world's growing on crypto. So they can't take Binance out, you know. I mean, they could possibly throw him in jail. I don't even think he's up for that kind of charges. That would be a question for Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
But she's really studied up on that quite a bit. But they can shut him off or fine him and ban him in U.S., but, you know, he's a global company now. I don't even think you can figure out where his servers are. They're in multiple locations and everything else. So, yeah. He did it the right way. He bounced around. I don't know if you guys remember, like 2017, he went to like 3 or 4 different countries just to keep it, you know, real. Yeah. So it would affect the market, but I don't think anything like the FTX deal or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Again, my guess, you know.
Northern Living says too much money from the big boys in Ethereum. They will get a free pass on any potential SEC trouble, as Alan says, too much manipulation in the coin or market.
Yeah,
That's
a great it. It is, and it's. I mean, I sort of disagree sometimes with a lot of these conspiratorial angles on what it is, and they got a free pass, and all that. Maybe. I know there's a few channels out there that they've based that on, their entire show is based upon that knowledge, or that's their view. I don't know. And there is no smoking gun laying around. So, but yeah, it seems that way. It sure does seem that way. A lot of people haven't put together this little fact, is that the SEC hasn't come after Ethereum yet, because when they claimed Ethereum wasn't a security, they were mining, they were proof of work. Well, now they're proof of stake. So that's a big change for them. And nobody thought they were going to be able to pull it off, and they did. So now that they're proof of stake, it could go back on the table of Gary Gensler, and he could come after those people. And then where's your narrative of, oh yeah, they're on the inside and they got a free pass? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
maybe.
Ron Wood, the guitarist, is back.
Ron, what do you? We got a free platform here. We got a free. In our minds, in our world, all of us, right? It's decentralized.
Yeah.
YouTube's taking their cut, but said, ask your dad how much he would charge me for a 15-minute phone call. I need to talk to him, need his advice. Bro, if you want to throw the question up, we'll talk about it with everybody, or if it sounds like it might be private. So
it's kind of mind-blowing how many people ask me that. It's like, whoa, really? Just hang out and ask the question. Maybe we can get to it here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heavy questions that a lot of people aren't going to ask on YouTube. I get that. So, but
he's confirmed, not the Rolling Stone Ron Wood. Okay.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah. I wish. No, I don't wish. I'd rather have this Ron. Actually.
Yeah, I'd rather have this Ron as well.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have down there?
Expect more price action over the next 2 hours. Thank you, Al's Pond. Peter said, I think Ethereum is JP Morgan's pet project.
Yeah, I know. I remember there's a couple of channels that have been saying that for a long time. Yeah, maybe. It sure seems that way. I'll say that. Yeah.
Laurel, if I see an alien, I'll ask it for the lottery numbers and I'll split it with you.
Yeah.
Because it was your idea.
Yeah. Let me give my 2
I'll just give it all to you, and I'll just make me your cabana boy or something.
Right. Let me give my 2 cents on aliens. Since we're there. I'm sure everybody wants to know this, but it's just my 2 cents. And I like to deal in logic sometimes. First of all, Let me just say this. If they're so damn advanced, how come they keep crashing on a rock here? It's right here, right? I don't get it. Are they running out of fuel, or what? They came 1 billion miles and they ran out of fuel here. So they didn't plan for that. I don't know. That one's kind of hard for me. And then my other one is, which I learned from another source, which was really cool. And it's a great way to look at it. I'm not concerned about aliens until they're walking down the street, until I bump into one every other day at work or something. You know what I mean? And then at that point, you're going to have to go, well, we're going to have to deal with it. But they're really scarce, if you know what I mean. They're not really an issue. They're like sort of, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's like like, how many transsexual people do you really know? I mean, I don't know that many. I mean, I see them occasionally here and there, but even when they've come to that level of our population, which I don't know I don't even know what the percentage is of that. But when aliens reach that number, I'll say, wow, okay, we should recognize these people as, you know, hey, what do you guys got? What's going on? What are you up to? What's happening? But if you accidentally, possibly in a fighter jet doing Mach 3, you see the glimpse of one go by, I don't think they're a big issue in my daily events.
Yeah, that's
That's how I'm seeing it.
I think everybody feels the same way, Dad. We're all just like Elmo, and we're like, yeah. Oh well.
Right.
Oh, well.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We kind of already knew that.
Right. Like
you watch any old podcast, you've heard all that.
Yeah. You're more likely to witness an albino elephant, you know, than any alien. So what?
A rare white elk sighting.
Yeah. So I don't know what all the chatter's about.
A golfer with an arm growing out of his ass, you know.
There you go. Right.
There's.
Yeah. The bad, the good, and the ugly. Exactly.
There's more chance of Gary Gensler answering a question than us seeing aliens.
Perfect.
And we all know that's not going to happen.
No, he is not going to say it's a security.
Oh, that's classic, Peter. That's classic.
Or a commodity.
His defense, that post recently about his defense about FTX, it was just like, you people are so crooked, man. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Yeah. Like I don't want to see you up there anymore.
I mean,
let's go do your reptilian crap.
Why is it we can't find anybody in Congress that wants to talk about election reform? You know, it's like, oh, well, it's that. Why would they do that? They generate billions of dollars for themselves. Like, why would they do that? Well, they're not going to do that. Oh, let's not come after Sam Bankscam because he donated money to our president. Let's just drop those charges. Let's just make that go away. You know, we can't arrest him for that. You know, it was an innocent mistake. It's like, okay, so you can buy our officials now. All right, got it. And it's not a chargeable offense. All right. That's crazy, man. That's a crazy level of this country that I never thought I'd ever witness.
Yeah. It's one of the few things that really boils my blood is corruption. I heard a story last night. I won't hang on this for too long here, but it was a story of where I live here locally, and there was a person that was victimizing women, and
boy.
And when you looked at kind of the acts and what the guy was doing, you see kind of intent, and you see a way of being that he just didn't care, and is like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then he also had people cover for him, so he had this great cover up group.
Oh wow!
May have taken place in our school system here.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I was thinking about that, and I was pissed off last night, and I was just like, man. And then, I hear something like that, and it's like our entire way of life and all the energy that we put into work and into saving and into giving is corrupted by the people who are sworn to protect it and regulate it.
Yeah.
It boils my blood a little bit, everybody. Boils my blood. And I'm about as sweet and nice as they come. So
too nice. Way too nice.
Yeah, that's about as nice as I can put all that. But
Yeah.
that's why I get excited about these conversations and these comments. It's this group, this intellectual group that we all got here together. I think we're going to do some stuff about it. I really do.
I had a discussion with Sean earlier today about exactly that. And people my age and older, there was something about that generation that was like, oh, let's just keep it just like this. This is perfect. Let me get my pension. Let me get my lazy boy and a cold beer, and I'm good. That's all I need. Well, now it seems like everybody from, like, I'll say 40 and less down, okay, they seem to say, no, that's not working for us. We need to do something a little bit more for the people. Let's do a little bit more. So it goes in waves, you know? And I think what's coming now is if we could get generational wealth, I think we could find a big difference. I don't think they're just going to run off and make a bunch of babies like the baby boomers did and just buy a couch and a big house. I don't think that's what their plan is. And it's the evolution of man and who we are. And I think we will go forward. And I think it's an opportunity with crypto that I think could happen. So I have a lot of faith in everybody younger than I am. Put it that way.
Love that, Dad.
Yeah.
And that was something Dad mentioned in the beginning of the show. We're wanting to grow the channel and make sure, for the reasons really of making sure that people that have less than, like, say, even I do, you know, as a 37-year-old, or, you know, these generations that are either my age or younger, having an opportunity in our lifetime to have a multi-generational changing wealth event. You know, first thing that comes off to mind is, like, you know, if you bought Apple, you know, or you bought, you know, just something that you can't even imagine. Like, you invested in cell phones, you know, smartphones before there were smartphones, and you were just in on that technology. I feel like I've read enough to kind of know that we've got a huge shot at that. And if we're loving and we're kind, and Landon asked a question on our Patreon yesterday, kind of talking about our moral views and things, and on the show going forward. And you know, it's to stay loving and to stay creative. And you guys all know who my dad is, and that's really who he is. He's doing himself on this show, and bringing his passion to it. Good or bad. Yeah, good or bad. And,
and that's who you get.
We just going forward, we want to just encourage people by just sharing our interests in it, you know. And I think you guys can be just as effective as we are talking to people that you know, and sharing that possible, you know, generational wealth changing kind of stuff. You know, there's projects like XRP that we all get it. It's going moonshot. It's like, why wouldn't you tell your buddy that?
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting back there, you guys. I'm getting
and it's
the roller coaster of crypto. Kind of, you go in and out a little bit, but I see great on the horizon for us.
And it's different this time even than Apple, okay? Because Apple, or, you know, Elon got rich, you know, or top 10 people got rich with Tesla. Well, and you're going to say, oh, well, the top 10 people with XRP are going to get rich. No, they're going to be the richest people in the world. So, like, but there's going to be 10 of them, right? And then all the people that bought XRP down the line are going to be multi-millionaires one day. I don't know at what point. Okay. That Tesla didn't make hundreds or even tens of thousands of multi-millionaires. It's a totally different profit structure. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a different system. In fact, I did a video about that this morning that I haven't posted yet.
Totally, Dad. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the Apple thing was the first, just trying to find an example of, something that, it's like, hey, these computers are going to be on market. We've seen what's coming. There's no way people aren't going to have computers.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to ask I think it was Patty's question, the last one.
Yeah.
I have heard that. I have heard actually up further north, there's way more sightings than Catalina. Like not your area, Brent, but close. Where's the fish aquarium at?
Monterey Bay.
Straight out from Monterey Bay, there's a massive channel in the ocean that's ridiculously deep, okay, off the California coast. And I've heard more crazy sightings in that location than anything else from boat captains. They all say, yeah, there's something's going on out there. We don't know what the hell it is, but it's crazy sounds, and it's in the dark always, and they hear it. They don't necessarily hear splashing water. It just goes quiet, and then it gets loud, and then it goes quiet again. Like it was under the water, and then it's not, that kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have heard that. I haven't heard about between LA and Catalina, though, much. Yeah. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Yeah.
My unidentified thing that I've seen in my life, guys, was on the Highway 101, about 40 minutes south of San Jose. And it's just a weird one. It's a weird.
Yeah. Not explainable.
Not explainable. I'm not gonna attempt it.
Yeah.
But you all
Thanks,
know.
Ron.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron. Hit the like buttons, guys. Cool.
Love it. Thank you, Ron. That was.
What are you guys doing? You want to keep rolling?
BTT
whatever you guys want to do. What's everybody doing?
Mariana Trench.
Yeah. I've heard that one. Yeah.
I had just heard the report that they've shown they're going in and out of the water. This is like the second day I've even heard that.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You sure it's not Starlink launches? I live right by where they launch Starlink rockets.
Yeah.
Here out of Vandenberg, and it's a totally different. It's a very slow fireball, very slow fireball, straight up with a curve. It's not a horizontal screaming. You can see it. It looks, once you see them in space, it looks like a star. It looks like that. It's like a chain of them.
And this is the opposite too, right? Like it's the sound and then it stops. Like it went underwater.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, what? Where could it have gone? Everyone's like, where did it go? That there's a lot of those, rumors, boat stories, how it is. You never know. I have heard, what I have heard about Catalina is the giants and the bones out there. The giant people.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And people on the island go, oh yeah. Yep. We heard that story too. Or, divers have seen them or whatever it was. The theory, the the story was essentially it went like this, that they took all the bones from the mainland and they took them over there, and on the way the boat sank or something, or they sank them intentionally in a deep spot before the island. That's the story I heard.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've driven Jim White to drink, driven him to drinking.
That
Hey,
a boy.
Hello to our Lithuania crowd.
Yeah.
Let's do everything we can to make good change and fix the numbers. Let's do everything we can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been 2 hours, guys. Yeah, maybe we should shut it down. It's so cool. People would spend 2 hours with us.
So
they're
fun.
They would spend another hour. I think everyone's hot and drinking.
You can't rent the boat, Ron. You can't rent the boat.
No. Yeah, love you too, Ron. Yeah, good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Elizabeth, did you have anything to add? Any updates?
Just love on everybody here.
Yeah,
Lolo, Ron, Cody, Shane, Background Sounds, Northern Living, Jim White, like everybody, all in the chat. This is a really fun chat today.
It was.
I was loving your rants today, Dad. You've been really opening it up, man.
Really? Thanks.
Yeah, and I'm just continue to be so impressed with the videos you're putting out, and it's just so I'm enjoying learning.
Yeah.
More, and I know you spend everybody. My dad spends a lot of time on the phone now, and a lot of time researching, and trying to puzzle this all together for us. And I'm really impressed with what you've done, Dad. Really proud of you.
Thanks. I had a great conversation with a couple of people in crypto yesterday, as you two know, and they're very into crypto. And one of them's been a content provider, actually, if you want to call them that, whatever, had their own channel. And somebody else, the other person has produced a couple of channels. And both of them were very complimentary towards the three of us. And I think that's really neat that people see us as a family and as a group and a forward-thinking group of people that care enough about the other people in the space that are really, hey, these people seem to care, and they're not just promoting their own coin, and they're not just promoting this or that. They're actually doing, helping with the questions and doing a bunch of content as best they can. So they were both very complimentary to you both. I know you weren't on the phone with them, but they were with me. So it was, I wanted to share that with you guys. Yep.
Nice.
All right,
everybody,
guys.
Yeah. Love it.
Go ahead, Brent. Okay, guys, I think with that, we're going to end this live stream, and we will hopefully see, high water in case the boat sinks. Don't say sink word, but we will see you next Sunday. I'll be back on the farm then. So, Brent, it was great chatting with you. And Elizabeth, thanks for all your help in playing Wounded.
Okay. Thanks, all you guys.
Buddy.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for all the support. And hopefully I'll be in repair next week. We'll be back. Brent and I will be back Saturdays. Anybody wants to join in a book review club with us on Patreon, Brent and I are open to joiners on that.
We had a lot of fun with it yesterday.
I think we'd have a lot of fun if our patrons joined in too. I think that would be cool. But I love this live stream's fun. It's just a casual thing.
Yeah.
Not sure that it's random train wreck type stuff that people are getting used to. It's all good.
Yeah. It's good fun.
All right. I'm going to hit the end. Is that okay, Alan? I know you can't.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Love you all.
Love you.